Hi all, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much, and thank you to all of our new subscribers. We're so excited to have you as part of our community. I am here today. I thought I would go through my July pages so far to date. I was fearful that if I didn't do this when I filmed my July page, I've been coloring a lot, and if I waited until the end of July or early August, that video would be super long. So I thought I would start now and do half the pages that I have done so far. So without further ado, at the end, I also thought I would share with you my favorite Luminance color combinations, in case that's helpful. So I'll let you know when we start that, and you can either click off if you just want to see the coloring pages, or stay to see some of my favorite colored pencil combinations, in case that's helpful. So anyways, let's get started. So again, no particular order of my pages so far. So the first one is in Summer Nights. Oops, not the owls, you saw that before. So this is the page for this month so far. So this is the beetle for this page. So this one I think turned out really pretty. So the background of this, the sunset, is with my Luminance pencils. So it's just the kind of red, yellow, orange combination. And then I did the metal work with pencil as well with my Luminance. The background is with Tuliart black acrylic marker. And let's see, the white drops are these Ranger enamel accents again. Tend to always use those. And the splatter is ink, actually. It's metallic ink. And for that, I use this Kuretake metallic ink, which is very beautiful. I just put it in a well, like a paint well, and then take a fan brush, cover up the drawing, and then splatter around the sides. But I think it gives it a really cool kind of mystical look. But so happy with this page. There's a lot going on. It was pretty before I did the splatter. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do the splatter. I did it just to try it out, and I think it's pretty. So yeah. So did that in that book for Summer Nights. For Seasons always tends to come out every month. So for Seasons, I did this one. So the bird's nest page. So there she is in all her glory. This is a very pretty Hanna page, I think, the drawing. And then I just did, again, all with my Luminance pencils, some Korean sparkle pens, and some enamel drops on the bird's eggs. And then here's the Korean sparkle pens down here. And then this background is all a gelato background. So, and then the face is all pan pastels per usual. So I like her. The color combination, it's a little fall, like late summer, fall, going into fall. I love the combination of the green with the kind of peachy orange colors. And so I'm trying to make that work. This time I tried it last month too. It didn't work out very well, but I added in blue to try to kind of counterbalance the two colors. And I don't know, I think it's okay. She's pretty. I like her. So that is in Seasons. Did I do another page in Seasons? No, nope, that's it. Fairy Tale Worlds. I had picked out a page that I mentioned in my June pages, my June pages. I picked out a page for July. I decided to do a different one than that, so I actually did the Hansel and Gretel page. So this is that page. This is, again, my some Luminance pencils. It's actually the majority, though, is the Kuretake Futobiori pens. So these pens, which are my favorites, that's the majority of all of this for the coloring. The background here is actually Faber-Castell Pit Pastel pencils. And if you're not familiar with that medium, so when you are working with the pastel pencils, I find that if you lay a layer down, you rub it down, then you lay another layer down, you softly rub it down. Probably about 3 or 4 layers is what I used here to get this level of saturation. So that's how I use pastel pencils, and the Pitt pastel pencils are my favorite of the pastels. So that's what all this background is. And if you do it that way, if you kind of rub down the layers, I find that I don't have to spray it. So it hasn't transferred over to this page. I don't have a page in between, and it's pretty, it doesn't move. But it's only because I do all of those layers that I find that it does that. So just if that's helpful when you're getting started with pastel pencils. Magical Dawn, another favorite. So this one, I think this one I did 2 pages. Yeah. So this one has one of my favorite pages that I've done so far for the month. So this is my, I'm calling my, what are these moths called? So I use this as inspiration. So this is the Halloween set from Moth and Myth. We have these in the store. These are embellishments actually of butterflies and moths, and they're gorgeous. And so I used that as inspiration for this page. Deadhead moth, is that what this is? I don't know, we'll probably know. So that's what I used for this inspiration. I think she turned out really pretty. I love the color scheme. So again, just using this as the inspiration for the colors. It's all pencils. So it's all of my Luminance pencils. The braid is the Luminance pencils. And then I did use some gold pearl embellishment for this. I used the Hero Arts. So these are the Hero Arts pearls. These are wonderful. I don't know that they make these anymore. We have some left in the store, some gold and white, but these give the Ranger pearls a run for their money. I like these a lot, but these are super easy to use and really great. I've gone through, I think, 2 tubes of these in the past. So another good pearl embellishment. The rest of down here is all Korean metallic pens and other metallic pens. And then the background is gelatos. So we sell open stock of gelatos. I think we have like 65 colors or something like that. And I'm determined to try them all so that I can tell you what my favorites are, and I can tell you which ones are really good for backgrounds. So I'm trying them out. This one is at the top of the list so far. So this is let me see what color it is. This is the amber. So this is the amber. It's an iridescent gelato. They come in different types. So there's metallic, iridescent, plain, brights, all different kinds. This is the iridescent, and it's amber. And I just think this is so pretty. It does have a sheen to it, if you can see that. And it's just one color. So this is just one color. For gelatos, how I use it to put it down, I use one of these. Oh, you can see where I use the amber. I rub the amber onto one of these plastic palettes, and then I just use one of these ink blending brushes. I rub it around, and then I put it on the page for this soft layer. You can put gelatos directly on the page. I find it they're a little bit harder to blend. This is super easy. I think this took me 20 seconds to do. Gelatos you can also erase. So you can erase gelatos, not completely, but you can erase them. So if you get a little bit over onto some of your other areas, you can erase, and then I do the background first, and then I put my color over those areas. So if that's helpful, if you're getting to know gelatos, again, it's not a new medium by any means, but it's fairly new to me. So trying to find new ways that I can use it, but yeah. And again, this is pan pastels for the face and for any makeup. Gave her a little bit of a smoky eye. So yeah, really happy with that page. I think that turned out really pretty. That's Magical Dawn. And I think that's the only one that I did in this one. Yeah, that's all I did in Magical Dawn so far this month. Jewelry box, I did 2 pages in jewelry box. So jewelry box, I did this one. This is the one I said I was going to do. After that, I think I started this literally the day I finished that video because I was so inspired by it. So this was a fun page. This is gelatos, pen pastel for the skin. The headdress and all of this down here, this is all done with Poscas, so Posca acrylics. So Poscas have been tricky for me in the past getting the right nib for, I have now all the nibs. I've tried them all. This is my favorite. So these are the, if you haven't used these, are these new? I was not familiar with these, but these are the short ones. And if, hopefully you can see, bring it up close. These are PC-1M bullet shaped 0.7 millimeter. So they're not the extra fine, but I think they are labeled as extra fine. So they have this type of nib. But again, they're short and they like fit perfectly in your hand and the perfect nib. So that's what all of this is just different colors of these. So easy and really fun to use. No problem with them clogging up, no problem with getting the paint out. So really happy with these. So I bought like all the colors that these come in because I was just so impressed. But kind of hard to find. So I actually had to go to Jerry's Artorama to get these open stock because Amazon, I couldn't really tell which ones were which for these. So anyways, if that's helpful, I highly recommend those. And that's what I used for all of this embellishment. So that one turned out really pretty. I like the color combination there. And then I also did this one. So this one, she has a little bit of a vampire vibe maybe going, but I did black swans outlined again with one of these, but in gray. So that's what I did with the outline. Super easy. If you have any trouble with outlining, highly recommend those. That was incredible. And then this is silver. God, that might be the silver Posca pen as well. I think I got really into those. So that's the silver Posca pen. The hair is Luminance. So Luminance Pencils. It's the black, Payne's gray, and then white in the center. That's how I do kind of make that reflection. Always kind of use 3 or 4 colors to make that happen. And then the gems are Luminance Pencils, kind of graded, like a variety of reds. And then the Nouveau clear acrylic over the top. And also that's in her eyes as well. These gems and a little bit of Karen sparkle pen as well for some of it. Oh, the background is just Tulle red Tulle acrylic pen. So yeah, I thought she turned out really pretty. So I had 2 good pages in this book so far for the month. Another favorite. This is probably, if I had to rate them, Summer Nights is my favorite, then Jewelry Box, and then Magical Dawn. That's probably my ranking. But it changes. We'll see when the new Halloween book comes out where that falls. Okay, so this is the Occult and Folklore coloring book. I said I was going to do another double page spread in this, and I did. So I did this one. This is the sun and moon. I think it's technically supposed to be like an eclipse. So I think that's what we're going for here. So this is Tulle Art acrylic paint pens again. This time I used from the Wildflower Colors set. This is the color that I used. It's number 25. And I think I mentioned last time, but I change all of the nibs to this nib, to the brush nib. Really easy to do. They come in packs like this. Not gonna lie, I get these on Amazon and they're a bit pricey. I think it's like $17 for a pack of these, which I don't know. I feel like it's a lot, but Tulle Arts in general, I think are pretty pricey, but worth it just because they're so opaque. So I love them, but I know that they are a little pricey. So I changed those out. Now to do this amount of Tulle Art paint pen, I do find that I have to change, I have to flip the nib. So I do for a while, I'll do on this side and then I'll flip it and then start again. And then I'll flip it and start again because it does get a little bit clogged. But I was able to do this entire spread without changing the nib, just flipping it over and over. And again, this is 1 pen. And while they are expensive, my Tulle Arts last me a really long time. So this one's not even close to being out and I've done this entire spread. Let's see what else. I also, these are done with oil pastels. So these are oil pastels. And then I just rubbed them out. And then I had to put the faces back after I did that. So I think I just used, I used this. So this is the Sakura Pigma Sensei pen. And it just has the felt nib there. You can actually see there's pen pastel stuck on the nib there. Stuck on the nib there. But yeah, so that's the pen that I used, and number 6 is the fineness. Yeah, and then the stars, this is all again with those same Posca pens, with the 1M. So that's that, and then I outlined with the pink version, and then add a little sparkle with the Stardust stickle. So that's all this outline around the clouds and the stars. And then these are outlined in gold, and then using the navy blue, it's not this particular color, but using the navy blue Stabler. So yeah. So all of these pages are always so pretty, so I love that. I don't know which one I'm going to do next. It's I love them all. I could do any page in here and be very happy. So yes, so that was good to get that done. Okay, and then Mythamorphia, I think I mentioned I am trying to finish a Mythamorphia page every month. So this is my UK version of Mythamorphia, and for this month I did the werewolf. So you've seen this done a million times, I'm sure. I'm late to the party here. But this is, I was able to do the wolf. And this is done using actually all Luminance pencil for the fur. So gray Luminance pencils. And then just white around the edges for a highlight. And this is all Luminance pencils as well for the green. The bats are actually Moonlight. So this is a Jelly Roll Moonlight pen. So I did that for the bats, and then just put some stickles over it. And then the moon is all Luminance as well, just gradiated red for the moon. Some silver stickles for the stars to give it some shine, if you can see those. The ground, I actually put this straight on the paper. The ground, I used the iced coffee metallic gelato, and I just put that straight on and just rubbed it in. That was super easy. I was glad to do that. I was actually thinking in hindsight, I wonder what it would have been like if I had used the gray gelato for the wolf, if that would have been easier. I did use gelato for the background, so blue gelato is what I used for the night sky, and then just did some shadow work with my Luminance pencils. Yeah, so that turned out nice, I think. There's some gorgeous versions of this, though, I know on YouTube, so it's just my take on it. Oh, another, I don't know if you want to know this, but if you like Halloween pages and kind of scary pages, I do always use my glaze pens for any type of blood. So there's a little bit of trickle there, but if you ever need to know that, I do use, that's what I use for that. Just colored in. When we get into Halloween, that I tend to use that quite a bit. Okay, so that's Mythamorphia. And then Hidden Earth, I came back to this book because I had so much fun with the first page that I did, the jungle page that I shared last month. This time I did the double spread of the forest. So this is the forest page, and I used Tuliart paint pen and dark navy for the background. And then all of this is Luminance pencils and some stickles and some gel pen for like the owl, and some enamel drops again for the little dots. What else did I do here? For the wings, I used the Sakura sparkle pen. I don't think I have that handy, but yeah, that makes for an easy sparkle. I think we have that in the store. Yeah, the sparkle pen. And then just some gold here and there. But yeah, I think this turned out really pretty. I love the, people always have talked about Rita Berman. I know, I just haven't. This was the one I did last month. This is this is the second page. I'll show you the one that I'm excited to do before the end of the month. I get a little obsessed when I find new books that I love. I mean, I could do any of these pages. They're so neat and so fun. Oh, I wanted to do this one. So I don't know if I'll get to this by the end of the month, but definitely this one is in my future. I can't wait. can't wait to do this huge flower and the bugs. Oh, look at the roses. Yeah, so pretty. So yeah, so excited to have that book in my collection. Oh, Forest Kingdom. I did do Forest Kingdom, Hanna Karlzon. This is not one of my favorites. I'm not drawn to it. I haven't done very many pages in this book, but I did do this one. So I did this background with the crowns. So the crowns are all gold metallic Posca pen again. Lots of dots on this one. This is Luminance colored pencil. And then the background, oh, what is this background called when you do these like kind of raindrop, sun drop? I can't remember. You'll remember probably and put it in the comments. But for this, how I did it, I used my Distress Oxide ink. So this is in Forest Moss. Always use the oxide for this because oxide reacts to water. So this is the ink that I used, and I just, again, brushed it on using the same kind of applicator that you can get on Amazon. We have some in the store, but you can also get them on Amazon. So I rub all of that on the page, and then I take a stencil. This is one of my favorite stencils. I think this is by Creative Expressions. So I take the stencil of the moon and the stars, and then I just kind of randomly, the different size circles, I take a damp paper towel and I just softly rub where the circles are. And then that creates this effect. So there's all kinds of stencils like this with different size circles that you can find either on Amazon and Blick or whatever craft store. We have some in our store as well. The stars are all different sizes of this one too. So that would be fun, kind of if you were doing a night sky. But yeah, so this is my easy way to do this effect. Just again, a damp paper towel, a stencil, and then the Distress Oxide. And then you don't have to worry about splotchiness with your ink. Every time I use ink in coloring, I'm just not that good at it. And so when I do it, you can see I always leave splotches. But when you put the circles over it and paper towel, it kind of minimizes, I think it minimizes the look of it. But so yeah, so I did that effect this month so far in Forest Kingdom. Again, not one that I bring out very often because it's not one I'm drawn to, but of course it's gorgeous. I mean, it's a beautiful book, no doubt about that. Wildflower Folk, I have been meaning to color a page in this forever, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So I finally did a page in this. I picked the Wildberry Bloom. This book, it's the same publisher. We get them from Llewellyn, but it's a distributor, but it's the same publisher as the Jasmine Beckett Griffith book. So if you haven't, I mean, I'm sure you all have, but if you don't have these books, the paper is just gorgeous. The drawings are gorgeous. They're single-sided. It's like the dream color book, at least for me. But I did Wildberry Bloom. I didn't do a background on this. I didn't think she needed it. This is all Luminance Pencils, a little bit of sparkle on the wings. The butterfly is pencil. The face is pan pastels. So again, my favorite thing to color are always portraits with stuff going on around them. So I love doing portraits because I discovered pan pastels. I don't think I'd like portraits as much if I didn't know that, because using coloring, I'm just not good enough to use colored pencils for portraits, but I can use pan pastels. So this is the pan pastel set. I always have it sitting here because pretty much everything I color, I use them. So this is my set. This is the portrait set of pan pastels, and then I've just supplemented it. So I think I took out the white, I added the red, and I think I added this color. So yeah, so this is red iron. Oh, you can see if you want to know the colors that I use. This is the red iron oxide tint, and then the magenta, the magenta tint I added, and then this bright red, the permanent red shade, I think I added. So, and then took out the white, and there might have even been a black that I took out. So I use so for fair tones, I use a combination of these colors, these four, and then for deeper skin tones, I use a combination of these. Yeah, and then for blush or makeup or anything like that, this is what I use for blush. I think she has a combination of the red and the kind of pinkish tone, the tint for her blush. So those are my pan pastels. Don't know what I would do without those. Yeah, I use those every time I color, basically. So that's that. So I was excited to do so, and I can't wait to the next book. I think it's out. We don't have it, or it's on its way to the store, and I can't wait to grab one. So more to come from that. And then Lulu's House of Wonder, this adorable book. I know everyone is probably actively working in this. I started my page, so I have a whip. So this is the page that I started. All that I've done so far, I decided to use pencils. This paper is actually, it's better than I even thought. So I was going to use alcohol markers because they're single-sided, which you certainly can do, but the paper's so nice. I was like, I'm going to try pencils. So all that I've done is I've used my yellow Luminance pencil and kind of done where I think the lighting would be, and then did lighting around, again, the tops of their heads and the pillows and some of the comforter for that, and then started coloring in so far. And I just color up until the highlight and then blend it in. So I'm sure there's much more sophisticated ways to do illumination on coloring pages, but that's how I do it. I literally just take a yellow pencil, kind of tells me where I think lighting should go, and then you can see how the lighting will show up on them. So yeah, this is such a fun book. I love that she's expanded into this kind of bigger size. I know the other books that she has are smaller, which are fun too, but I love the size of this book. Oh, I do have one more whip. Let me show you really quick. It's actually, I think I mentioned it was a Mary Englebright book. So this one is so cute, and I've started it, and this is the page somewhere in here. Oh, this one. So the journey, he's making jam sandwiches. I've started it. It's I'm going to use my Kuratakis for this. So this is Kurataki Futabioris again, and just some Posca pens. So yeah. All right, so that's my book so far. If you want to stick around, and maybe I thought it might be helpful. I was always trying to find because Luminance, I know pencils are expensive. We have a starter kit in the store, which is great. You do well with that starter kit. That's how I started. But then as you get into it, it's hard to know which ones to get. And I think it's overwhelming. There's 100 of them, 100 pencils, and so unless you are an artist and you know exactly what to do. I am certainly not an artist. I thought it was hard to find. So I thought I would show you my favorite combinations. This is how I travel. These are the only pencils I bring when I travel. All the work that you just saw was using everything in this pouch, supplemented with a few colors here and there, but these are my core pencils. So I thought I would show, let me see if I can get them put together in my trios here, my favorite trios. So it should be pretty easy because I use these all the time. So let's see. These are my basics. I'm going to put over here. Let's see. Putting together, I have a blue set. I have a aquamarine set. I have a green trio set. And I've been using these for so long that they're like old friends. Here's my yellow set. My orangey red set. This is part of my blue set. This one goes with turquoise. And that's it. Oop, here's brown. Okay, so again, these are my trios that I use. So I have a light, middle, I have a light, medium, and dark hue for all of these colors. So we'll come back to that one. So the first set are my browns. So for my light, I have, let's look at them this way. For my light, I have my burnt ochre, and then I have my burnt sienna, and then I have my sepia. So that's my set for any browns that I need to do. Trees, ground, hair, anything like that. The moth woman that I showed you in that Hanna Karlzon, this is her hair color. This is the blue set. So for blues, I use light blue, middle cobalt blue, and Prussian blue. So that's my blue set. Greens, this is my very favorite. I use these all the time, as you can see why they're so small. So this is my favorite green set. So light is spring green, medium is grass green, and then dark is dark phthalocyanine green, cyanine green. Sorry. But that is, it's number 719 is that dark one. But this is my favorite green set. This, if I could recommend any color within any of my Carnadash Luminance pencils, it would be the spring green. I use this all the time. I've probably gone through 3 of them, and I have like 5 in back stock because I never want to be without it. You can see how like grubby it is. This is incredibly useful in all of my coloring. So that's my green set. Turquoise set. So for light, I have turquoise blue. Medium is beryl green, and then dark is malachite green. So that's for water, ocean, rivers, all things like that. And again, I don't use Luminance exclusively. This is not the only pencil I use, but this is my favorite pencil. And I do have some arthritis in my hand, so if I use skinny pencils, my colors are just almost too skinny for me to use for a long period of time. My hand will start acting up, but I don't ever have a problem with these because they're the kind of fatter barrels. So it's another reason why I use them so much. So for my yellows, my 3 colors, so my light is lemon yellow, my medium is medium cadmium yellow, and then my dark is golden bismuth yellow. So those are the yellows that I use. This lemon yellow is borderline. It has some green in it. So I do find that I use that with my greens quite a bit. So super, super helpful. And then for orange and red, this is the trio I use. So the light is orange, the medium is cornelian, and the red is permanent red. So that's what I use for my orange combination. Sunsets, that beetle page that I showed at the very beginning, that's the background is this combination. And then I think I added yellow. So it's actually, that's what I used for the beetle. And that's that. And then my basics, the things that I always have these, I'm always running out and replacing. So white, obviously, the black from Luminance is wonderful. Although the Derwent Light Fast Black gives this a run for its money. So I love both of them, but this is, and the Prisma Colors Black. I don't use Prisma colors very much. When I do oil pastels, I'll use Prismas, and I can explain how I do that in another video if you're interested. But the Prisma Black obviously is phenomenal. So that sometimes usually is in here, but right now it's just this black. And then the other 3 that I always have, dark indigo for shadows. So that's always in my basics. And then of course, always have Payne's Gray. So Payne's Gray and Payne's Gray 60. Payne's Gray 60 and Payne's Gray are my grays of choice. I love these. And if I need a lighter gray, I just mix it with the white for the most part, but any of the Payne's Gray are gorgeous. And then, so you notice I don't have pinks. So pinks, I actually prefer my Polychromos pinks. So the 3 pinks that I use are Pink Matter Lake, and then the medium color that I use is fuchsia, and then pink carmine. So those are the 3 pinks that I use when I need pink. If, you know, I know that Luminance has anthracite pink and all of those pinks. I have not had good luck with Luminance pink. So if you have a wonderful pink combination, please let me know. But for right now, I have to use the Polychromos. And obviously the Polychromos are just the most beautiful pencil. These are my second favorite. So if these are my first, Polychromos are my second. And then I do like some of the Derwent. Like I said, the Light Fast are wonderful. The Derwent Drawing, the Derwent Color Soft, the list goes on and on. But so yeah, I hope that's helpful if you're just getting started with what to get for Luminance pencils. This is the set that, again, that I travel with. Ooh, sorry, that's really loud. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't too loud. But this is these are my favorites. sharpening of luminance. So I have a lot of sharpeners. I do have the Prisma and I do have the Derwent. I don't recommend these, at least not for Luminance pencils. This one, I think I have some pencils stuck in there. Derwent, it's okay. These are okay for manual, but if you are traveling and need a pencil sharpener, I do highly recommend just the simple Carnadash pencil sharpener. There's a reason that they sell this with these gorgeous pencils. So for some reason, this is just like, I don't know if it's because it's super sharp. I don't know why, but this combination is what I would recommend for these pencils. Obviously, you can use an electronic sharpener for these, but this works the best, I find. And then the other thing just in here for an eraser, I do use an electric eraser sometimes, but my favorite eraser, just in case you're interested, is the Factus Black 18. I have these littered all over my desk, so you can buy these at Blick and Jerry's. But yeah, so I don't know. I hope that was helpful. I hope that wasn't too dull. If you're still here, thank you for watching. Again, we will be back at the end of July with some more coloring, hopefully, if we're able to get some more pages done. Again, if you have some great color combinations for luminance that you love, I would love to hear about them. Please pop them in the comments. That would be so fun. And again, thank you all for watching, and thank you to those who newly subscribed. We really appreciate it. So have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.